Hello everybody, it's AK-47 Master here, back with another episode of Phoenix Wright's Attorney. On last episode, we created the idea that the murderer had taken the second bullet with him for whatever reason. And it's kind of a pun if you think about it, because just think about it in your head for a second. The murderer had to take the bullet. Now, in what context is that used? Well, it could be used in multiple. Had to? Mr. Wright, what do you mean? Well, for instance what? Maybe the bullet, hit the murderer. The bullet hit the murderer? Just saying, for instance. I mean, if it hit you, you would have to take it with you, wouldn't you? It's not like you could perform surgery right there. You know? It's a good point, if you think about it. Wait a second. I was just talking off the top of my head, but what if that's really what happened? Let me get this straight. So at the time of the murderer himself was shot, and he left with the second bullet still inside, thus leaving only one bullet at the scene of the crime. Yes, I guess that's how it worked. Yes. But there's a problem with that. The only other two people rescued from that elevator, Miles Edgeworth and Yon Yogi, were both unharmed. So that would mean the murderer came from outside. Yes, Judge, you finally get it. Sweet. Now we can move on. The two men fight inside the elevator. Trying to stop them, the boy picks up the pistol at his feet and throws it. The pistol discharges and the bullet goes through the elevator door and hits the murderer outside, in the shoulder apparently. The boy loses consciousness. Alright, now this image is epic. This dude just looks like uber hitman, tryhard, crazy pro. Then the murderer opens the elevator door and sees the two men inside. Mr. Wright, you are truly the most unpredictable defense attorney I've ever known. I can tell you're grasping, yes. I cannot deny the possibility of what you say. Uh-oh.
There's a big problem with this. What are you saying? Deny it. No one involved with the incident was wounded. There was no murderer.
No one was wounded at the time of the incident. He's right. I can't think of anyone. Hey, Nick. Huh? I just thought of something really crazy. Crazy? Remember what Mr. Grossberg said yesterday? What Mr. Grossberg said? Gregory Edgeworth dealt a blow to his perfect trial record. Wow. It must have been quite a shock for Von Karma. He took a vacation for several months after that, you see. Yes, an unusual event for the man. That was the first and the last vacation he's taken in his many years of prosecuting. What if Von Karma didn't take that vacation because of shock, but took it because he was injured? Which would mean, it could only mean one thing. He was the murderer in the DL6 incident. He was the man who shot Gregory Edgeworth. It was Von Karma. Oh man. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You seem dazed. No, Your Honor. Well, you haven't indicated the possibility that the murder came from outside. Can you give us the name of your suspect? Uh-oh. Should I come out and say it now? Let's do it. There is no better time than now. Your Honor, there is a suspect, one lone suspect. Well, this certainly is interesting news. Very well, Mr. Wright. Who is your suspect? My hands are shaking. What? Von Karma. Von Karma? You mean the Von Karma, the prosecutor, sitting right there? Bah! You don't object? I see no need. Why honor this ridiculous outburst with my objection? Because you took a vacation for several months starting the day after the incident. Yet you pride yourself on a perfect record. Why would you take such a long vacation without any reason? So you're claiming that I took a vacation to heal my injury from the incident. Fascinating. Prove it. I would have needed surgery, no? Where did I go under the knife at, Mr. Wright? Bring the doctor that operated on me. Have him testify. Nick, let's find out who his doctor is. It's no use. Edgeworth? I know Von Karma, perhaps too well. He's perfect. He wouldn't leave it clues. He probably didn't undergo surgery. That will leave a doctor as a witness. Grr, nobody's that perfect. So what, Nick? Did Von Karma pull the bullet out of himself? That's insane. No, he couldn't have. You can't just pull bullets out of yourself. Wait a minute. What does that mean? That bullet has to be somewhere. But where?
Tisk, tisk, tisk. Well, Mr. Wright? Can you produce evidence to prove that I was shot?
You may think it's impossible to prove. However, this is the most jerkish evidence showing in the whole game. You do have to show evidence. There is one piece of evidence that you have to have, that you will have to, in order to prove this. Alright, Mr. Von Karma, I'll prove it. This is ridiculous. I'll even use evidence. I know how you like it so much.
What?
The evidence that proves Von Karma was shot is the metal detector. Now read the description. Makes a noise when metallic objects are near. Useful detection device. This is what you have to show. Von Karma is perfect. He wouldn't risk surgery leaving an evidence trail. So then I ask, where is that bullet now? See, this is ridiculous. I think it unlikely that Von Karma performed surgery on himself. You don't mean... Yes, I do. There is a possibility that the bullet is still inside Von Karma. This is it. This is the most douchebaggy, jerkish thing this game ever does to its new players. Is that even possible for all these years? Well, there's one way to find out. With this metal detector. We can use this metal detector. What type of jerk, what type of attorney would use a metal detector in court? This is ridiculous. Well, Von Karma, I'm going to run this over you, see what we find. And as you can see, now he's all nervous.
I refuse.
You refuse? But refusing this means you acknowledge that the bullet is still inside of you.
Exactly. But still, this is the most video gaming logic thing they could ever do.
Order.
Your Honor, the defense requests that we may be allowed to use the metal detector.
Judge, I call for suspension of this court. This is an invasion of privacy.
The statute of limitations runs out on this case today. It was you who said we had to end it right here, right now.
Enough. I permit the use of the metal detector. Mr. Von Karma, you will submit yourself to testing.
Nick, what does this mean? I don't know, but we have to give it a shot. So now they're running it, and there you go. There you go. That's what you gotta do. It reacted. Something's inside his right shoulder. The bullet. Oh my god. Mr. Von Karma? You. It was you.
I was afraid this would happen, and so I remained silent.
Huh? Indeed, there is a bullet in my shoulder. However, it has nothing to do with this case.
What?
I was shot in the shoulder long before the DL6 incident.
I claim that the bullet in my shoulder has no relation to DL6.
So even when you get that far, he still has an objection. He still has something to say.
But Mr. Von Karma, can you prove that?
Prove? Oh, no, I am here to prove nothing. I have no obligation to prove anything. That is the job of the defense attorney. It is you who must prove something here, Mr. Wright. Not I.
Mr. Wright? Well, can you prove it? Can you prove that the bullet in Mr. Von Karma's shoulder was from DL6?
Of course he can't. You don't have any of the DL6 evidence. That's because you took it out of the records room yesterday. Actually, wait a minute. That's not completely correct. With no proof, you cannot convict me of any crime. So sorry, Mr. Wright. You lose.
No, I'm sorry for you. I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Von Karma.
What?
You were close. One day away from freedom. You see, I have proof.
What?
Who would have thought you would have dug your own grave trying to convict Edgeworth? I can link that bullet in your shoulder to the DL6 incident.
And I'll do it with evidence. And here's my final proof. So this is it, the final proof of the game, which is of course the last piece of evidence you get, the DL6 bullet. This is it, taken from Gregory Edgeworth's heart, still bears clear ballistic markings. There you go. That is it. So let's present it.
That's a bullet.
Where did you get that? This is the bullet used in the DL6 incident. This was taken from the heart of the victim, Mr. Gregory Edgeworth. The bullet is preserved quite nicely with all of the ballistic markings intact. Ballistic markings? You may recall the term. It came up in the first trial 2 days ago.
Ballistic markings on the fingerprints of a weapon. All bullets fired from a gun are marked with that weapon's unique pattern. By examining the markings, you could tell which weapon fired the bullets. It's quite accurate.
So there you go. We have 2 bullets in our possession. One, the bullet removed from Gregory Edgeworth's heart, and the other, Mr. Von Karma, is the bullet buried in your shoulder. We could analyze both bullets. Then if the markings match, we have our murderer. We would know that both bullets have been fired from the same gun. The very same pistol, in other words, the murder weapon that killed Gregory Edgeworth. Murph! Murph! Now this is epic. Get ready for the final and one of the best breakdowns in the series. Mr. Von Karma, have anything to say, bro? You will let us remove the bullet from your shoulder. Then we'll compare the ballistic markings to those on this bullet. Well, and solve this case once and for all. You have anything to say? Well, Von Karma, anything to say? It's that scream that I heard in the elevator 15 years ago. Well, Karma, it was you who screamed. So there you go, the scream reappearing once again, being the main central point of this whole case. Mr. Von Karma? Roar! Edgeworth! Edgeworth! Only you would dare defy me.
So it was you.
You and your father are my curse. Your father shamed me with a penalty on my record. And you left a scar on my shoulder that would never fade. I'll bury you. I'll bury you with my bare hands. Death, death.
Feel bad for his head there. 15 years earlier.
Mr. Chief Prosecutor, I am sorry. Mr. Von Karma, it's not like you to make this kind of error. I never would have thought that Edgeworth would be the one to catch you.
I was careless.
I'm sorry, but you will have to be penalized. I've covered you for you in the past, but not this time.
Edgeworth.